Hey there, my little adventurers. Ready for a story that'll knock your socks clean off? Well, buckle up those imaginary seatbelts, because today we're diving into one of the wildest stories from way, way back. And trust me, it's got more twists than a pretzel factory. Picture this: 2 brothers, some vegetables, a sheep, and the world's first case of sibling rivalry gone totally bonkers. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh great, another boring vegetable story. But wait, this isn't about eating your broccoli, my little friends. This is about choices, feelings, and what happens when jealousy turns into something bad. So grab your popcorn, or your carrots if you're feeling healthy, because we're about to meet Cain and Abel, 2 brothers whose story will teach us something super important about our hearts. Once upon a time, there lived 2 brothers named Cain and Abel. Cain was the big brother, and boy did he love farming. I'm talking about the guy who probably talked to his tomatoes and gave his carrots pep talks. He could make anything grow: corn, wheat, fruits, you name it. If there was a Farmer of the Year award back then, Cain would have won it hands down. And then there was Abel, the little brother who was absolutely crazy about sheep. Not in a weird way, he was a shepherd. He took care of those woolly guys like they were his best friends. Picture the most patient babysitter ever, but instead of kids, it's a bunch of sheep who probably thought Abel was the coolest human ever. Now here's where things get interesting, my little detectives. Back in those days, people would bring special gifts to God to say thank you for all the awesome things he gave them. So Cain thought, I'll bring God some of my best crops. And he gathered up some fruits and vegetables from his fields. Now the Bible doesn't say they were his absolute best ones, but hey, they looked pretty good. But Abel? Oh, Abel went all out. He chose the very best lamb from his flock. We're talking about the fluffiest, most perfect little sheep you've ever seen. This wasn't just any random sheep. This was his prize sheep. So there they were, both brothers bringing their gifts to God. The air was thick with excitement. But something unexpected was about to happen. God looked at both offerings and he was super pleased with Abel's gift. The Bible tells us that God looked favorably on Abel and his offering. It was like getting the biggest gold star in the universe. But Cain's offering? Well, let's just say it didn't get the same reaction. And oh boy, was Cain not happy about this. My little adventurers, have you ever felt jealous? You know, that icky feeling when someone gets something you want, or when they seem to be doing better than you? Well, Cain felt that feeling. Big time. It was like when your friend gets picked first for the team and you don't, or when your sibling gets the bigger piece of cake. Except Cain let that jealous feeling grow and grow until it became like a monster inside his heart. But here's the thing. God saw what was happening in Cain's heart, and he cared. God came to Cain and basically said, "Hey buddy, why are you so upset? If you do what's right, won't you be accepted too?" God was giving Cain a choice, my little friends. He could choose the right path, the path of making better choices and trying again. Or he could let that jealousy monster take control. But what do you think Cain chose? This is where our story takes a very sad turn, my little adventurers. Instead of listening to God's wise advice, Cain let that jealousy monster win. Cain asked Abel to come out to the field with him. And there? Well, Cain made the worst choice anyone could ever make. He hurt his brother Abel so badly that Abel died. I know that's really sad and scary, little ones. Cain let his jealous feelings grow so big that he did something terrible that could never be undone. And immediately, he realized just how awful his choice was. And you know what? Actions always have consequences. God came to Cain again and asked, "Where is your brother Abel?" And Cain, oh poor Cain, tried to lie. He said, "I don't know." Am I supposed to take care of my brother? But God knows everything, my little adventurers. He told Cain that because of his terrible choice, life was going to be much, much harder. Cain would have to wander the earth, and farming, the thing he loved most, wouldn't work well for him anymore. Even though God had to give Cain consequences for his actions, God still protected him. Because that's what God does. He's just, but He's also loving. So what can we learn from this pretty intense story, my little adventurers? First, jealousy is like a tiny seed. If we water it with angry thoughts and mean feelings, it can grow into something that hurts us and others. But here's the amazing news. We can choose differently. When we feel jealous, we can stop and think, wait a minute. Instead of being upset that my friend did well, maybe I can be happy for them and work harder myself. If your sister gets a better grade, you can congratulate her and study harder next time. If your friend makes the team and you don't, you can cheer for them and practice more. That's what God wanted Cain to do. Remember, my little friends, our feelings are normal. But what we do with those feelings is our choice. We can choose kindness over jealousy, celebration over competition, and love over anger. The Bible tells us in 1 John chapter 4, verse 7, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God." When we choose love instead of jealousy, we're choosing God's way. And that's always the best adventure of all. Thanks for joining me on this story journey, my little adventurers. Remember, every day you get to choose. Will you let jealousy grow, or will you choose love? I know you'll make the right choice. Don't forget to like this video if it helped you learn something new, and subscribe for more amazing Bible adventures. Until next time, keep choosing love.